best heavyweight, the best professional wrestling discussion on the internet, World Wrestling Entertainment, TNA Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and much more. This, ladies and gentlemen, is In the Hot Seat with your host, Fortminorproject.
Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of In the Hot Seat. And of course, as always, we got a great show, and as well as a brand new guest joining me at this time. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, man. My name is Mr. PXW11556. Please go sub to this dude, Fortminorproject. Thanks for having me on the show.
Alright, no problem. It's a pleasure having you on the show, and we got a couple of topics to get through on this show. And I'm going to kick things off, and what are your thoughts, and who do you think should have the next push in TNA?
My thoughts are that I always thought that Brian Kendrick was a really good wrestler, and he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he deserves a push.
Right.
I don't know if many people see that as well as I do. And another person that comes into mind is Crimson.
Okay. Now, is there anyone else do you think who should have that next push, or is it Crimson and just Brian Kendrick right now?
Yeah, just those two.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you with Brian Kendrick. I think he's a good wrestler, and, I've been following with him in WWE as well. He's a talented wrestler, and I, like what he does in the ring. So yeah, I think, he should have a push, at least, with the X Division Championship and, win the title and, do some good things with the X Division. Crimson, I have been, becoming, a bit of a fan of him as of late. I've been kind of liking what he's doing. So far, he has that, little undefeated streak. He's been having a matchup with, rivalry, I should say, with Samoa Joe, which has been, pretty good. So they might have another match. Who should have the next push? Guys like, Robert Roode, guys like that have been with TNA from the beginning should have that next push, for the world title. Guys like Samoa Joe, I know Kurt Angle's going back up in there. So guys like that, I think should come back out on top, and, guys that have been with the company and, to get noticed again and, at least get a chance, for the world title. So that's cool, and that's it when it comes to that. Next thing I got here, and as we learned yesterday from Raw last night, with CM Punk, pretty much, having an announcement and saying that he's pretty much gonna have his contract expired the night after Money in the Bank. So what are your thoughts on CM Punk? Do you think he should stay? Do you think he's gonna win the title at Money in the Bank? And what are your whole thoughts on that?
My thoughts is I'm not a big fan of ROH, but I remember watching a ROH episode on HDNet, and it was when Tyler Black won the ROH championship,
Right.
and he stated that he was going to leave ROH and go to WWE with the title.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar in a way because everyone's saying that CM Punk is going to ROH.
Right.
With the WWE title. It's like a reverse situation going on here, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But my thoughts is I still follow him. Like, I'm not a big fan of ROH. Like, I'm trying to get into it myself. But if he goes there, I will follow it.
Okay.
That's my number one thing. I'll follow it.
Yeah. Yeah, with CM Punk, I would hope that he would, at least stay, win the title, hold it for, at least a little while, take a break, come back, towards like the end of the year or, sometime in 2012, come back and, be pretty much in a way as a dominant heel. I have been, following ROH on and off. I think that's a great company. I don't really see CM Punk going into TNA at all. I really wouldn't know what they would do with him, to be all honest. So CM Punk is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers, and hopefully at Money in the Bank, CM Punk can capture the WWE Championship and, like I said, keep it for a while. Only time will tell what happened after Money in the Bank with CM Punk. So hopefully he will, somehow re-sign with the company, and this won't really be the end, but just for a break with CM Punk. So that's it when it comes to that. Next topic I got here, and getting into brief thoughts with this, and with Desmond Wolfe, pretty much no longer in TNA, and with him having the sickness and not being able to wrestle too as well. You know, in any company pretty much. So, you know, what are your thoughts on Desmond Wolf? Do you see him, you know, doing other stuff, like some backstage stuff or stuff like that? And what are your thoughts on Desmond Wolf?
What I've noticed with wrestlers, when they get injured, for instance, like Draws.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went to that show, by the way, when
Oh,
he was
okay.
paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, when he was paralyzed, after like a couple years later, he became like a writer for WWE.com and used to do these stories on pay-per-views or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can see him doing stuff like that. I'm not saying like writing stuff about pay-per-views, but like
Mm-hmm.
backstage, doing stuff with the company,
Right.
or just in general with wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, with Desmond Wolf, you know, I've been, you know, pretty much a fan of him, and, you know, he didn't really do a whole lot in TNA, so it sucks, you know, what happened with him, so, you know, he can definitely, you know, maybe, you know, go into commentary. That would be pretty interesting to have, you know, Desmond Wolf go into commentary. You know, he can do, you know, some of the stuff like you mentioned, you know, going backstage, being the part of the creative team, or, you know, going to a different company and helping them out, doing backstage stuff and stuff like that. So we probably won't really see, you know, Desmond Wolf leaving wrestling entirely, but we'll probably be hearing of him, you know, doing stuff backstage and stuff like that. So, you know, it sucks what happened with Desmond Wolf for that. One thing before I, you know, end this whole thing, and you know, as we learned that HBK is going to be coming to Raw next week, and you know, I just wanted to have your thoughts on that, and what do you think HBK will have, you know, in store for us for next week, and do you see him coming more often, you know, besides Raw next week?
Um, I see him coming more awfully.
Okay.
Me personally, I've been seeing a lot of since like this year.
Mhm.
There's been so many legends coming back, and I believe what Vince's mind is that like now the wrestling isn't doing shit. Like I'm not saying like I like WWE
Right.
because I grew up with it, but he's basically saying like the current wrestlers ain't shit, but like the popular ones. But to get ratings, you have to get legends involved or
Mhm.
special Monday Night Raws, for instance, like Power to the People
Right.
yesterday, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
All Stars Night, Stone Cold, The Rock,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, and including a couple months back, Undertaker coming
Mhm.
back, as well as Triple H. See, that's the reason why, because he's just bringing legends in, trying to get ratings and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
do I see HBK coming back in sporadically? Yeah, I do.
Alright, yeah, I can't wait to see what HBK has in store for next week. I'm sure it's going to be something good. He'll probably be like a general manager or something for the night and then have stuff planned or just kind of promo. Not too entirely sure what it's going to be about, even if he does. So it's going to be really interesting to see, and it's going to be good to have, you know, see, HBK, you know, come back, and you know, I'm really excited to have that happen. And I do see him, you know, at least coming back once in a while, doing some stuff with WWE, like promos and stuff like that, or, you know, getting involved in the storyline. Not necessarily really wrestling, but, you know, at least, you know, stopping by and visiting every once in a while. So I think that's a good thing that at least he's, you know, coming in and, you know, visiting. So, yeah, that's it when it comes to all the topics. You know, is there anything else that you want to give your final thoughts on? Any shout outs or stuff like that, you know, you want to say before we end this thing?
Um, I have to say my thoughts on the WWE 12 game.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Um, I personally, I like the games. I believe I have like the majority of this decade,
Mhm.
last decade's video games, and they're really awesome. I can play them anytime. Hope that goes for WWE 12
Yeah.
because that happened with SVR 11. I
Mhm.
play it a lot, but I usually don't play it when they're like in development with it. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, my thoughts on it. I like the fact how they have it's not a major thing, but now Kelly announced that she's gonna be in the game,
Yeah.
and that she announced that they're gonna have a Divas elimination chamber.
Mhm.
I can see a lot of good things coming to this. I can
Yeah.
see Daniel Bryan is confirmed, but not really sure. You would have to see an interview, or whatever. But I've heard he's confirmed.
Right.
Alberto Del Rio, John Cena, um, who else? The Miz and Randy
Mm-hmm.
Orton,
Yeah.
and they also confirmed that they're working on Universe mode, and they're having more legends than last year. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be awesome. Um, I like how it's smooth. Like I see the pictures, and they're already like smoother than last year. Like
Mm-hmm.
no homo, but it's smoother.
Yeah, I
Um,
understand.
with the graphics and everything.
Mhm.
So that those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
By shout out to you personally.
I
Shout
appreciate
out to
that,
my
guys.
my second channel,
Alright.
YWC Collaborations, where I interviewed him yesterday.
Yep.
The link will be in the description of the video. Hope you subscribe to that. Subscribe to me, Mr. PXW, and that's it.
Alright, well, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Yeah, I definitely will leave a link to our interview down below in the description box for everyone to check out, as well as both of your channels too, as well, so everyone can check out as well. But that about does it for this week's episode of In the Hot Seat. You guys can continue the live discussion down below in the comment box. Leave, video sponsors, stuff like that. And as always, I will talk to you guys later on. Peace.